Last week you saw us do one of the biggest moves we've ever done with both boats. It was a massive week, and now we're on our final push to get to Coventry. We've got a floating market there on the 2nd and 3rd of July, which is tomorrow and Sunday for you guys. Yeah, we've got 4 days to get both boats there. It shouldn't be too difficult. Only thing is we've got a flight of locks ahead of us. We're halfway up it at Atherstone, so we've got 5 more locks to go. So hopefully we'll make it in time. We've got supplies to pick up along the way and a lot of baking to do. So here we go. Do you feel aptly prepared this morning?
Kind of just woken up and gone, haven't we? I have, anyway. Haven't really done any of my stretches.
Limbered up.
Very limbered up.
There you go, there's one right there. William, you feeling alright? He's not really feeling alright. He's been teething, I think, or he's had a cold, one or the other. But he's definitely got his first little tooth through. There's quite a few other traders going up to Coventry Market. There's a cheese boat, there's a barge in booze, there's the jam butty. They do like preserves, chutneys, jams. I'm so excited. So they're all on the way. We've passed a couple of them because we're going the same way. Everyone's sort of leapfrogging each other, and the further people leapfrog, the more nervous I get that we have 2 boats to move and to get there in time, but it should be alright.
Lock number 1 of 5. Boom.
For those tackling locks this weekend, what's your pre-lock stretch routine?
Well, I haven't done it this morning, but turns out it's quite necessary if you're bounding about locks. I just, get the legs nice and...
Couple of hammies?
Yeah. Get them nice and loose. Get these bad lads cooperating for when you're bounding about. And mostly, it's just in the mind. Keep the mind loose. Be like the water itself. Flow freely.
That's a cool dog. Hello. Great ears. Wow. There's a lot of working boats around because there's been a rally, like a historic working boat rally at Braunston. So lots of them are coming back this way. We've seen loads of them and they're all like polished and done up beautifully and just so colourful. I guess they put their Sunday best on to go to the rally.
Lock 2 of 5.
What's this, the shoulders?
Yeah, you're gonna need them.
You're looking at me very intently, aren't you?
William's holding everyone back from the jobs.
I don't mind. Quite happy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Lock number 3 of 5.
Well, you will make it to Coventry. But you've only got 2 more then. I've come from Hawkesbury Junction this morning.
Have you?
Yeah.
And in one sentence, he's ruined the jeopardy of this episode. He came from Hawkesbury Junction, which is a few miles from the Coventry Basin, just this morning. So we've got 4 days to recreate that journey.
Lot 4 of 5.
It's quite harsh because pretty much Vic's single-handed everything. A boat with 2 people could get much further than 2 boats with 1 person can. I mean, we're helping out a little bit, but not really. I think we're getting in the way more than anything, me and William. Clouds over there, sunshine over there. Started raining. I'm trying to film 5 out of 5, but it just absolutely chucked it down. So I can't get the camera out, but we're going through the 5th one. Bumped into some friends at that top log. That was Paul and Viv. They're on Whitby and they've just been to Braunston to the historic boat show, but cool boat.
That's all the lock's done. Now we're off into the Great Blue Yonder, or the Great Blue Narrow, or the Narrow Brown Yonder. We're heading for Harts Hill Yard. Apparently that's a nice place to moor up and chill out for the evening.
When I said we were in a rush, we're not in too much of a rush to just moor up and wander into the local town. A little place called Harts Hill outside of Nuneaton. You excited for your day out? Afternoon?
3. Slow canoeists. They haven't seen me in the canoe. We're circumnavigating the town, surrounding it before we head in for our invasion. If anybody's interested on how we navigate the terra firma on our travels, it's using an app that's new to me called Komoot. If you haven't got it and you're travelling around and you're into exploring the kind of villages and towns that are your new neighbourhoods, I would highly recommend it because it's like puts all of its emphasis on the footpaths and stuff like that.
This is the path less trodden. Vic's heard word that there's a old castle in this town.
Yeah, some castle ruins. We're going to go and siege it now. Pretty thick old walls.
Have you got any info on this castle?
I just think it's been recommended by 3 out of 3 mountain bikers. Oh, it's got some structural problems. It was built as a Motte and Bailey castle in the 12th century by Hugh de Hardeshall in 1125.
Wow, that's old. Feels wild, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's cool here.
Wow, it's quite a dark forest in here.
Well, this is probably a pretty ancient forest if it's been here since the beginning, because it said on this Wikipedia thing that people used to walk around in this forest when there were no paths through it or anything. It was really thick, you know, like Stone Age people. So it might be that this is the same forest, same ancient woodland.
It definitely has that vibe.
Yeah.
Old and thick.
Yeah.
If these recordings are found way in the future, Blair Witch style, commute didn't work out for us. Oh my god. We've scared ourselves just filming all that.
On the move again, leaving Holly behind temporarily as we scout new territory. Seems pretty quiet on the canals this morning, possibly because of like bad weather forecast, which everybody really seems to pay attention to, except for us.
How I love to sail on the bounding sea, and I never, never, ever do a thing about the weather, for the weather never, ever does a thing for me.
For some reason, just a bad habit. I've never thought to check it. So might mean that we're battling some elements today, but we've got the canal to ourselves. Joe and William are just downstairs, below deck, if you will, and I can hear them giggling to each other.
Wow, we are snoozy today. It feels like we've been moving for absolutely ages. I don't know if it's just because we were sort of out of practice, but I was like, when did we set off? And then when you work it out, you're like, God, I feel like we've covered like loads of miles. It's probably the effect of doing both the boats. But yeah, we're within reach of Coventry, but it's just sort of taken a bit out of us, I think. And I feel like we'll all do a big like sigh of relief when we get there.
Mornings like this are so nice. You're just sort of sneaking through the world. You get the impression that everybody's still asleep. They probably are. One of the many benefits of being a parent on a boat is that you're up pretty early. It's only about 8 o'clock.
Something I never thought of before we had William was the state of the towpath. I always thought, like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, but now I'm like, is that pram going to get through that? Because it was actually like really, it was a palaver when it didn't, because I had to carry him, and he's about 10 kilograms now. I can't carry that. Like, so now I'm like spying bits of towpath. I'm like, we'd more here.
One of the good things about living on a narrowboat, I think, is that it can feel as much like camping as you want it to be. I feel like some people only moor up in places like this, and they've got a real campsite vibe wherever they go. And others go the opposite way. They moor up wherever they've got sort of access to shops, and they've got like a home afloat kind of vibe going on. I reckon we're probably somewhere in between. Diplomatically middle ground, as always. Not a real one. That's just a statue, but we got the camera out all really excited.
Normally you can tell, but that one was really convincing. There's a sheen on it.
Less convincing, that one, but still good. Here we are, back at Holly. Lovely little cycle. Joe was right about the towpath. Listen to Holly's engine start now. That, compared to what it was before, is amazing. Oh, the clouds looking pretty stormy. We're just catching up to Holly at Coventry Basin now. Here we are, just coming up to bridge number 15. By the time we get to bridge number 1, we'll be on the basin. We've just gone past Hawkesbury Junction, so if we'd have turned left through there, we'd be on the Oxford Canal, the North Oxford Canal, which goes down to Oxford. But we're not. Anyway, we're carrying straight on because that goes down to Coventry Basin, which is where we're headed. If you're thinking that that little piece of camera would have been better as we were approaching the junction, well, I thought that too, and recorded one without the microphone on. Just a quick pit stop to fill up with water so that over the weekend we don't have to think about it, or at least it's one less thing to think about.
Small snack pasta.
Thank you dearly. First impressions of Coventry by canal as we're coming into it. It's pretty cool. It's got kind of like a gritty, urban, sort of no frills, unpretentious kind of vibe to it. I like it. You can never really judge a place very fairly as you come into it by canal anyway, because I always think that coming into a place via the canal is sort of like entering a restaurant through the kitchen sort of thing. You're not getting the first impression that they intended. Or at least not the same first impression as if you were kind of greeted by the maitre d' and then shown to your table. You're sometimes kind of seeing around the back of things. It's a bit like being backstage of a place. But I like it so far. Nice, isn't it? Here we are in the basin, pressure's on. Better not get distracted by filming and mess things up now, because we're surrounded by our fellow traders for the weekend. We've met some of them already because we came down here already with Holly, but we haven't met all of them. I'm quite excited to meet everybody and get started for the weekend. It's exciting, this.
Yeah, and we're all here like a day early. I mean, we've got to prep, but there might be just fun times in the air.
It's good, this.
Hello. I think we have to leave this vlog here. I've got loads of baking to do. we've got loads to do pretty much to prep for the weekend. But thank you for watching, and also we're going to do a Q&A kind of video as we're cruising along at some point soon, so please ask away in the comments below or on Instagram, and ask us some juicy ones. We've done a Q&A before, so we want some like real fun questions, and we'll try and answer as many of them as we can. But yeah, see you next week. Bye. Do something for the bloopers. Stuck in a bush.
That's what you get for filming when you should be driving.